Just like that, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA, the team owners, the Players Association, in the split of an instance, all of it can change. In a split instance, all of it can change. If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the
WNBA just lost its biggest star, and they've got no one to blame but themselves. Caitlin Clark is out for at least 2 weeks with a left quadriceps strain, marking the first time she's missed a regular season game since her sophomore year in college.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least the next 2 weeks with a left quad strain. The Fever are currently 2-2 on the year. Clark has started all 4 games so far and is averaging 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 boards per game. The Fever said more updates will be provided after doctors reevaluate her.
But here's what's really frustrating. This injury might be tied to a quad issue she had in the preseason that never got handled properly. Was Clark playing through pain the whole time while getting slammed by dirty defenders and overlooked by biased refs? The timing couldn't be worse, and now the league's scrambling. Drop a get well soon CC in the comments to wish her a speedy recovery.
Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight. Caitlin Clark's out too.
Was Caitlin Clark quietly battling a bad leg all season while everyone just ignored the signs? The red flags are stacking up, and it's driving fans crazy. In that Liberty game on May 24th, Clark looked off right from the start, her shots were short, and the explosive range wasn't there. To make things worse, footage showed her using a heat pack on her leg during the game. That's not normal.
Footage of Caitlin Clark putting heat compression towards her leg. There is literally footage of her putting heat packs on her leg. There is new footage of her heating up her quad when she's playing.
Coach Stephanie White admitted after the MRI results came back that even she didn't know when the injury happened. Think about that, the team only realized something was seriously wrong when Clark spoke up post-game. White said, "I'm glad that she did because we need to nip this in the bud," showing Clark had been pushing through the pain without saying a word.
At the game, Caitlin Clark does not look right on the sideline. Caitlin Clark is coming out, she has heat compression on her quad. She was playing injured. And ironically, that is probably the best case scenario. That is probably the best thing. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's a bad thing. And trust me on this, it is probably the best case scenario that she's been actually playing through this and she was able to play through.
Let's call it what it is. This wasn't a random accident. Clark skipped the Fever's first preseason game due to tightness in the same left quad. Now she's got a strain in that exact muscle. The team keeps insisting this is a separate issue, but let's be real, 2 injuries to the same area in one season is a pattern, not bad luck.
This will be the wake-up call that the NBA needs to clean up the officiating, to actually show that they appreciate this golden goose that has landed in their lap that goes by the name of Caitlin Clark. It's been so long where we've just seen this girl getting beat up in games. We see her get grabbed, hacked, bumped into, knocked on the floor. There's never any whistle.
Here's what really makes this mess hard to stomach. Clark's been taking physical abuse for 2 straight years now. Through her rookie season and into this year, she's been bumped, shoved off screens, and hit with cheap fouls that would draw whistles for anyone else. Refs have allowed opponents to rough her up every night, and nothing's been done to stop it.
That play! Oh my god, this is rigged! This is rigged! She got yanked! Foul on her hip! That's a
White hit the mark when she said great players often hide injuries. Clark clearly felt the pressure to keep pushing through whatever discomfort she had. She probably believed she could tough it out like always, but this time her body gave out. The sad truth is she kept playing while defenders pounded her, knowing officials wouldn't step in.
Is still resentful of her, it's still jealous of her, and it's still trying to put her in her place and give her nothing, make her earn something that she already earned last year when she put this league on the national map. For the first time ever, it was really and truly on the...
This whole situation was 100% avoidable. resting Clark after her preseason injury, enforcing fair officiating, and catching the warning signs early could have prevented it all. But instead, the league watched its biggest attraction break down, and now they're scrambling to respond, proof of how much they depend on just one superstar.
Clark, somebody who was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season, including revenue from merchandise, ticket sales, and television, is out for a minimum of 2 weeks. Minimum of 2 weeks, more like 4 to 6 weeks. Minimum of 2 weeks, because remember, that's when she gets reevaluated. More like 4 to 6.
Just hours after the announcement, the WNBA's worst-case scenario started to unfold. Execs who'd been celebrating Clark's impact now had to face the reality of empty seats and nosediving ratings. The panic hit hard to teams that built entire marketing plans around her are now staring at a financial nightmare.
He's seeing people saying, I'm taking a break. I'm already seeing people say, I'll be back in a little bit. These numbers are going to go down. The owners are going to walk into those negotiation rooms feeling themselves. Shout out to Beyonce. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling my... Again, they're lucky this is only a rumored 2 to 4 weeks. Because if the news was the season, people would tune out.
Take the Washington Mystics. They'd already moved their upcoming game against the Fever to a bigger venue in Baltimore, betting big on Clark's drawing power. Now they're getting swamped with refund requests from fans who only bought tickets to see her. Imagine explaining that the whole move was for one player who suddenly can't play.
There's one thing, no doubt, that's about to happen. The WNBA teams that moved their games, this is about to be catastrophic for them. And it's kind of fun.
Chicago took an even bigger gamble, shifting their matchup with the Fever to the massive United Center, where the Bulls play. It was supposed to be a showcase for how far the league has come. Instead, they're staring at thousands of empty seats. Picture a half-empty arena on national TV. That kind of PR hit can set a league back years.
That's the Baltimore game. I believe that's about a 15,000 seat arena situation. This one's at the United Center in Chicago. Good luck getting anybody there. Seriously.
Here's the harsh truth that should keep WNBA execs up at night. The league's financial engine is a 23-year-old rookie. The Fever vs. Sky game in May shattered records as the most-watched WNBA game ever aired on ESPN, pulling in 2.7 million viewers and peaking at 3.1 million. That spike wasn't from a surge in league-wide popularity, it was because people tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark. Now with Clark sidelined, networks like CBS Sports are bracing for a sharp drop in ratings. Advertisers who shelled out top dollar for airtime during Clark-led broadcasts are likely scrambling, facing tough calls with media buyers. The WNBA built its entire marketing ecosystem around one player, and now she's out.
Will this be the wake-up call the WNBA needs? Caitlin Clark is out for at least 2 weeks. Now, we are going to see what you guys, not just Indiana Fever, we're going to see what type of numbers this league can churn over without.
Projected attendance for the Fever's upcoming road games paints a grim picture. Without Clark, marquee matchups are reverting to average WNBA turnouts. Promotions built around her star power are falling flat, and arenas expecting sellouts are now prepping for rows of empty seats. The league just got a brutal reality check. Their long-awaited superstar finally arrived, and they failed to protect her. Now the very foundation of their recent success is cracking. Behind the scenes, a financial fire drill is underway as executives realize just how fragile their growth was, and while they panic, something even more disgraceful exploded online.
A lot of you are like, this is perfect. All right, because the WNBA accused the fandom and gave validity to some online trolls. Oh, by the way, I wonder if the WNBA has given validity to some other online trolls.
While true basketball fans were devastated, dark corners of social media erupted in celebration over Clark's injury. Many of the most vile responses came from self-proclaimed Angel Reese fans and Sky supporters, people actually rejoicing that a 23-year-old phenom got hurt. Think about that. Instead of sympathy, there were memes, jokes, and outright cheers. Some said she deserved it. Others claimed she was faking for attention. The hate was grotesque, revealing a disturbing rot in the culture surrounding women's basketball.
People celebrating Caitlin Clark's injury. There are people celebrating Caitlin Clark's injury. And these are all people that are in the "we don't hate Caitlin Clark, we just hate her fans" group. No, they don't. They hate Caitlin Clark. They say we hate her fans just so that they get an excuse. They hate her.
What's worse is how all of this connects. The on-court targeting Clark faced all season, defenders grabbing her, hammering her on screens, delivering hits with 0 penalties, has a direct line to this toxic fan behavior. The league allowed a pattern of physical abuse to go unchecked. Now, those same people cheering her injury are the byproduct of a system that looked the other way while its biggest star got bullied into the ground.
You have got people out here wishing ACL injuries on Caitlin Clark. You have got people out here celebrating. Like, if you look at the quote tweets of the Indiana Fever tweeting Caitlin Clark got injured, the amount of celebratory tweets you've seen, the amount of celebratory tweets, and like people like celebrating that she got hurt. And the only reason I have to say this is that side of the fan base people are being told that does not exist, that does not happen. And it's clear as
the WNBA's refusal to protect Clark created an environment where this ugliness could thrive. Allowing players to rough her up with no repercussions signaled that she was fair game. When fans see their favorite athletes getting away with it, they feel justified in mocking her injury. It wasn't just bad officiating, it was a systemic failure that let a culture of violence fester.
you've got the media out here. Again, Elle Duncan has gone full on unhinged, it seems. Like, obviously, Caitlin Clark fans have called out some of her stuff, so now she's gone fully, it seems like she's fully gone anti-Caitlin Clark fans. She's gone and attacked them. She's gone on a tirade.
Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's silence has been deafening. She never defended Clark publicly, never addressed the constant cheap shots, and never took a stand to protect the league's brightest star. Her failure of leadership gave everyone permission to treat Clark like a punching bag. From inconsistent foul calls to blatant physicality ignored by refs, the WNBA let this happen. Now, the league that let bullies injure their biggest asset is reaping the consequences, and the online hate storm is a direct reflection of that failure.
Is that one of them are called, one group are called the scum of the earth, and because of that one group, every single person that is a fan of Caitlin Clark is called by the media not too far off the scum of the earth. And one group is, according to the media, not real. This is not real, this did not happen, none of this is real. So, that's just my opinion on this all. My opinion on all of this is that everything's wrong. All of this is wrong. Everything when it comes to the WNBA media is just crazy.
With Clark out, the Fever face a critical stretch without their leader. Upcoming games against Washington, Connecticut, and Chicago could be manageable, but the numbers tell a different story. Indiana's offensive rating plummets from 107.5 with Clark on the court to a disastrous 82.2 without her. That's not a dip, that's an offensive collapse.
I think so. I think that's the advantage of our depth, right? And we, Sophie had injury early as well. I think it's the advantage of us, the depth that we added in the offseason, that we're equipped. Certainly we'd rather have it early than late. It's a great opportunity for our team to find an identity. It's a great opportunity for our team to play in a different.
Coach Stephanie White isn't sugarcoating it. She knows the team must adjust quickly. Her new game plan involves distributing scoring and playmaking duties more evenly. It's a great opportunity for our team to find an identity without Caitlin, White said. In other words, now's the moment to prove they're more than just a one-woman show.
I also think it's a great opportunity for Caitlin to watch the game from the sideline and to grow in almost like a coaching kind of mindset and see some different things that we might be talking about on film, addressing in practice to see it develop in live action.
Aaliyah Boston now becomes the centerpiece. Averaging 18.5 points and 10.8 rebounds, she's been solid, but the Fever need more from her in the post. Last year, nearly 40% of her plays came from post-ups. This season, that dropped to 18.3% as she adjusted to playing alongside Clark. Without Clark, it's time to go back to her strengths. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell will take over playmaking while maintaining her scoring load. She's been the most reliable weapon outside of Clark, now she needs to become the leader.
I don't think we change how we play. I think we change what the emphasis is, right? Our off-ball actions as opposed to some of our on-ball actions. When we get to our on-ball actions, utilizing our personnel in a different way. You might not see as much of AB getting the ball on a dive and a pick and roll as you would in some of the other off-ball screening actions that get her to that point. Or where our shots come from. A lot of times with C and the ball in her hands, our shots are coming above the break, right? Now we might get the ball moving inline to inline when we're moving it side to side. So I don't think it changes how we play. I think it just changes the emphasis on the actions that we get to.
It's also time for players like Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull to shine. Both have been steady contributors, but now they'll need to elevate their output. The Fever brought in veterans like Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, and Dana Evans specifically to bolster depth in situations like this. Now they'll find out if those investments were worth it. Coach White sees a silver lining. This break gives Clark the chance to study the game from a new angle, almost like a coach. That mental growth, combined with physical rest, could be invaluable.
Things when you think about Caitlin and her not wanting to miss games. Obviously, she's a competitor and wants to play. Obviously, everyone wants to watch her play. But for me, it's maintaining perspective, right? It's making sure that we address this in a way that doesn't affect long term. That we take care of it. Don't over push. Don't overexert. Making sure that we take the long game approach to this, so that we're not having lingering issues throughout the course of the season. And I'm glad that sometimes great players don't tell you when they're hurting. I'm glad that she did, because we need to nip this in.
White is focused on the big picture. It's about making sure we handle this in a way that protects her long term, she explained. That means no rushing, no overexerting, just smart recovery. Ironically, this forced pause might benefit Clark in the long run, giving her time to heal, learn, and return stronger. For the Fever, it's a trial by fire. If they can hold the line, they'll emerge tougher and more complete for the playoff race. The WNBA made this mess by failing to protect their golden goose. Now they'll suffer the fallout: empty arenas, sinking ratings, and financial tremors. But there's hope. Clark will come back stronger, more focused, and more dangerous than ever. Let's wish her a fast recovery. Drop a get well soon CC in the comments, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.